Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Sheen from the Faculty of Engineering and Built Environment, Master University, Kuala Lumpur. I would like to extend my welcome to every one of you to attend to this webinar. We are hosting Associate Prof. IR Dr. Muralindran Mariappan. He has more than 2 decades of experience in educational administration, management, accreditation, OBN, curriculum development, and so on. He's expert trainer, he's master lead trainer and expert consultant for minimalist educational robotic and applications, robotic lead trainer for uh, petrol science, social innovation, MSI, Community Educational Robotic Association, Technobotic, Kurotech, and so many different organization and non-government organization NGOs. He's specialized in robotics, industrial automation, and intelligence system, and he's a researcher, innovator, and he got a bunch of awards from different seminars and different competitions. And he is involved in 11 professional organizations, both in national and international, and he's a founding member and executive committee of Malaysian Society of Automatic and Control Engineers. Moreover, he has executive roles in seven social organizations, IEEE Sabah, subsection chair election, and vice president. He's a presenter and speaker for the PEMADAM National Anti-Drug Association on healthy thinking and so on. I'm so happy that hosting Associate Prof. Dr. IR Muralindran today. He's going to talk regarding the robotic in the 21st century robotics and its application. Uh, Good morning, Prof. Thank you so much to accept our invitation for this talk. I will leave the platform to you, so I will be really appreciated if you start your webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shin, and thank you for the invitation. So, welcome, and here it's good morning. So today I will share with you some insights on the 21st century robotics and application. Of course, robotics is a very wide field. You cannot talk about everything, but I will highlight some important aspects of robotics that I really feel that it will really give greater impact in the very near future. Okay, and as you can see, these robots, wherever you talk about, whenever you talk about robots, it covers from sea to space. You know, you have robots in the space, and you have also robots deep sea. So robot application is worldwide, okay, worldwide, and in many applications they're using, and many people are involved in robotics, especially those who are programmers, those who are engineers, computer scientists, and of course now after the industrial revolution, so we have a lot of AI, because robot really uses artificial intelligence, big data, and all these things to aid it to become very much intelligent. Okay, so let me show you why it's very important. No? So history of revolution, if you can see this, if you look at today is actually digitization. No? So we have actually an introduction of connected devices in this world where you use AI and data analytics, you know, so that you can automate things. But in the future, very near future, you will have something that you will use personalization, whereby you will have your product customized for your needs. Okay, that means you cannot have a very fixed system to do things for you. Like if you want to have your own handphone, that means you customize your own handphone, and that handphone will be customized for you, and it will be automatically created. So that is why now robot and workers will actually work hand in hand. in the near future. Because currently people have fear that, oh, robots will take over the workforce and all these things. But no, in the near future, they will be collaborative. Because certain things, you need the creativity of a human being and a touch of a human being to get things done, especially when it comes to customization. Okay, so that's what I want to highlight here. So what I want to share with you all today is about little bit of overview of robotics. I will talk about history of robotics because we need to know where it started and why it's going in this way that we have now. And then how actually they classify robots. Okay? And then one of the basic little applications of robots that we really see that it's very important nowadays, and also some essential preparations that we all should have so that we can be ready for the coming future. Okay? Now let's look into the overview of robots. The robot history, it started in 1921 by Carol Capek. The word robot actually came from play. A play. Robota means servant, no? Subservient labor. So in this play, they have created something electromechanical robot, to show that it's. So this is the first introduction of robots in the world, actually. Okay? It came from a play. Then in 20th century, in 1940, you see, as you can see, this is 1920. 20 years later, in 1940, the first robot was created by Westinghouse Electric Corporation. So they have created a robot and its dog companion. The dog companion's name is Paco. This dog can walk, stand, and bark. And in 1941, this one we call the father of robotics, we call it Isaac Asimov. So he coined the word robotics, the technology of robots, because he saw that robots will actually climb or rise in the very, very near future. And then, of course, in 1968, 20 years later, then we have the first mobile robot that was created by Stanford Research Institute. So this robot uses camera, rangefinder, sensors. So this is actually, it's called Shaky. It was the first mobile robot that could think and respond to the world around it. So that was a great breakthrough. Of course, in 1968, they did this walking truck. You can control this truck. And in 1969, again in Stanford University, they developed the first electrically powered computer controlled robotic arm. Okay, so Professor Sherman later in 1974, so he founded the Weak Arm Incorporation. So this arm is actually used in industrial robots. Okay, they use for assembly. But the first robot actually they used for welding, because welding is very dangerous. Welding is very dangerous. Gas welding and also metal fume. So it's very dangerous, dirty, and dull job. So basically, why they created robot was to address these 3D: dangerous, dull, and dirty. So if you can put something there to do all this job, that's where the robot came. That was the initial part. Of course, we watch movies, right? You can see how people have imagination, and also they feel the technology should develop to a near future like that, because some of these technologies that we see in the television or in a movie like Robocop, Terminator, Transformer, Knight Rider, Real Steel, Stealth, so all these things, it exists now, but not like what you see in the movies, but it is there, it is being applied, and it's being developed. Okay, so these are the interesting part. So how do they classify? How do we classify robots? So first is introduced to you Tele Robots. Now Tele Robots are those guided by remote control by a human operator. You play remote control car, remote control aeroplane. So this one is you control the robot. So we call it the Tele Robot. Okay. Now, and then there is another one, telepresence. Telepresence is also a tele robot, but it has a visual feedback, a video feedback. That means you can feel that you are actually driving the robot, or you are the robot moving around and doing things. Okay. Later, I will share with you the applications of it. Then the other one is actually a static robot. This is where it started from. It's widely used in industries, factories, laboratories. Okay, so it's an industrial arm that does job. Okay, and then we have another one. We call it the mobile robot. This one moves around on the environment, so it can navigate by itself without any human intervention. It uses tracks, it uses wheels, and also other platforms. Okay. Then we have this autonomous robot. Now, autonomous robot is a robot that can do the work on its own. So you just program it and it just do it by itself. We have this lawn mower, we have this Romba, no, vacuum robot that can vacuum your house. No? So all these things, it does work on its own. That's why we call it an autonomous robot. No? Then we have something we call aerial, underwater, and space robots. So now, all these are also mostly are autonomous. Okay, it has to have some degree of autonomous, because in case the signal or whatever happens in communication, it's being cut. It must be able to navigate by itself and make decision and maybe return to the home base. So you have deep sea underwater vehicles, you have tiny, tiny drones, you have big drones that go and do military tasks. And then you also have the Mars rover, no? Which is sent to Mars, which definitely it has to be autonomous, and it has to communicate with the people on the planet Earth. And then we also have androids. Androids. One of the most advanced androids that we have currently is Asimo. It's by Honda. Okay. Now Asimo can climb stairs. Asimo can hop in one leg, can kick a ball, can run, and can recognize. Of course, we also have Sophia, who is the world's first robot citizen. Where it has a very high human-like behavior. Maybe not physically, but intellectually. Okay, and we also have the Neo, the toy robot or an educational robot that we can use to learn and also to do research upon. So there are many, many type of androids available in the world. These are some of them. Okay, and then something very interesting, we have restaurant cooking robots. Okay, restaurant name is Spice. As you can see in the picture there, this is actually the restaurant where people sit and they order food, and then the robot cooks by itself. It puts all the ingredients and it cooks and it serves. There's only one chef. He will see everything is okay and he will make the final touch. Okay, so because every meal is customized for you. Okay, of course, there's a general cooking, but customized for you. So the sprinkling work is done by the chef, only one chef. So that is why I said that in the future, you still need a human being to do the final touch. And also we have this picnic, pizza making robot. Imagine a robot can make 300 pizzas, which is a 12-inch size, quite big, in an hour. So this robot can do that repeatedly. So these are very interesting robots that we have in this world. And of course, where all the money is spent, where all the technology is currently being developed, mostly is on military robots. Okay, we have drones, we have military soldiers, we have alpha dogs, big dogs to carry things, and then we have automatic tanks which can go and target enemies, automatic sentries, okay, which they used in the borders. And then we also have these medical robots, which I will share with you a bit deeper later. We have robots that can operate people. We can have robots that desanitize places. And also we have pet robots. People who don't have pets, they cannot have dogs. It's a bit messy, so they have pet robots which interacts with human being, can be programmed and can be made to do whatever you want, so that small babies, small kids who have disabilities, they can learn to become normal again through these pets. Hmm? So that is what is all about robots, how we classify robots. Now, let us look into the application of robots. So first, we will look into these industrial robots. Because industrial robots is one of the widely used robots in the world, because manufacturing and all these things really use industrial robots. Okay, so this one we cannot run away from. And basically, when a person wants to study robotics, if he really wants to know the architecture and the application, the concepts and everything, we normally start with industrial robots. Then we go into mobile, because mobile uses platforms, different platforms. But industrial robots has a very unique understanding. So why industrial robots? You can see here, this is in 2017. Okay, this statistics is from the National Federation of Robotics. So you can see how much actually robots is being used, and it's replacing employees. You know? So on average, the global average is one robot actually replaces around 85,000 employees. Global average in the whole world, no? Okay. So we have a lot of usage in robots in Korea, because in Korea, one of their greatest revenue generator is in the field of robotics. That is why in Korea, one of my colleagues was sharing with me that every state in that country, they have a university that works on one special robots. Maybe one state works on medical robots, one state works on industrial robots, one state works on some other type of robots which they use to generate their revenue for the country. That's why the technology is advancing so fast. Of course, Singapore and now China is picking up, huh? And China has already gone very far also now currently, where they use robots in industry very widely. Okay? So, basic understanding of fixed robot or stationary robot. We have articulated robot where it moves. It moves. It has arm. You can call this a manipulator. Okay, this is a robotic arm, and the robot will have its own controller, the brain of the robot, where all the power goes from. And then the robot, you can teach it on a teach pendant, or you can use computer to program it, and it will learn, and then it will operate as what you want. And then you also have linear robots, and you have something called SCARA robot, SCARA. Huh? So SCARA robot actually, it has a unique design. It is used in industry, and it's very fast. Okay, it's very fast in doing some assembly things. Okay, and also we have gantry robot. This gantry robot, it uses also like a linear robot, but it can go in a vertical way also. We have cylindrical robot, which operates in a cylindrical way for certain applications. And finally, we have these parallel robots, very stable, very fast. Okay, very fast, very stable. Initially, they designed this robot. It was not like that. It was like this for welding purposes. So they put a platform on it, and then it moves in any direction that you want. But of course, now they have put it the other way around for smaller applications. Okay. So the repeatability of this parallel robot is very high. That means the robot is very accurate. Okay, very accurate, very precise in the work that it does. Okay, so this is about industrial robots. Of course, now the latest trend and latest application of robotics in this world mostly works on the area of collaborative robots. Collaborative, see, robots, if you have an industrial robot arm, it's very dangerous. Because, why it's very dangerous? Because the robot actually moves very fast. And it doesn't have any sensor to detect whether you are there or not. So they have fences. We have a workspace where you cannot enter that space. So it's very dangerous. So now we have collaborative robots. Now these collaborative robots are very unique, whereby this robot can work hand in hand with human being. You can touch it, you can move it. When it comes near you, it stops. When it touches you, it stops. And when you push it, it goes away. So it's like another person's arm. It's very friendly, very soft, and very helpful. It has a strength of a robot, intelligence of a robot, but it has an arm like a human being. So you can be by the side of the robot and you can work. So this is very interesting, and many robots are being created, and many people are working on this robot, because you can fix two robots together, two arms together, and work like a human being, as you can see in the image. Okay, and another one that is very it's becoming very popular nowadays is actually drones. We have material transfer robots, automated guided vehicles, and drones. So nowadays, people are buying online for many reasons, not only because of COVID, because of many reasons. Even before COVID, people have started to buy online, and we have big factories, big stores, warehouses, where we need guided vehicles to pick up objects or pick up purchases. And then we have robots to transfer them, actually, transfer. Now, if we study industrial automation, we get to know that basically around two-thirds of the cost of the industry or the cost of the product actually goes in material transfer. Either transfer from robot to robot for manufacturing, or from robot to customer, or from the source to the factory. Okay, so now this cost. So when you use robots, you will actually generally reduce the cost of this cost of the product that you are buying. So that is why you can see that many of the things that we buy online, it is very cheap, because they've tried to minimize the cost by using automated systems and robotics applications in their warehouse, and also other things. Okay, now these are the things that we exposed, and it's it's developing now. Now, industrial robots, these are the few areas that where they use robots in industries. The first is for material handling, like I was mentioning to you, material transfer, pick and place, palletizing, means arranging the materials, arranging the products, arranging the output, machine loading and unloading. So you use robots to load products to the machines and also unload them. Okay, and robot can do very fast, very clean job, and very accurate. Process, you have welding, spray coating, cutting, grinding. These are all process operations. Assembly, you have fastening screws and nuts, multiple orientation. It can fix up, down, left, right, in a very fast speed. And also, robot is also used for quality control, inspection, and also testing. So we have many robots, and they have been using it since many years. And because of this application of robots, we have products which are very high quality, very high quality. As you can see here, this is actually a guide just to show to you automation, computing, which involves robots, work together hand in hand, because you can design something virtually on a system. We call it computer aided manufacturing, CAM. And you can design it, you can do prototyping, and then you can do 3D printing, and then after that you can do production. All these things can be done by robot, the prototyping, printing, and production. Okay. Then of course you have assembly, and that is, you can see now we have blockchain involved. And then you have delivery. Okay, you have robots to deliver, tracking, and then also distribution. And also robots sometimes also do customer service. Sometimes you open your website, you have somebody to talk to you who is not a human being. It has some intelligence, a software robot, where it communicates with you. So these are the things that we have in industrial robots. So other applications of robots, let's look into it. The one which is going to be very useful in the very near future, or currently being used widely because especially due to COVID, is delivery robots. So robots has been using delivering food and also items that you purchase ground, on the aerial, and especially in hospitals, especially and when you have COVID, you know. And you can see that the famous one, it's a very billion-dollar market nowadays, because you have a lot of robots that deliver to you on the sidewalk. Okay, and then also you have robots that can drive autonomously, a driving car, a driving vehicle, autonomous vehicle that goes and delivers things. So now I think they have driverless trucks that goes on highways, controlled by satellite and as a remote driver, but the driver always puts it on autonomous mode. Only on emergency it takes over, but it runs automatically. And the second one, what is going to capture the attention of everybody in the near future, is swarm robots. Now, swarm robots, it's a robot that actually can communicate with other robots similar type and to accomplish a task. As you can see in the example, no, this is a small robots which can, if it wants to cross this, it will make itself into this uh, robot type, and it will cross the obstacle. So it has that intelligence collaboratively to do something. So it can collectively complete a task. You don't need complex algorithm, and it can change with the changing of environment. And of course, nowadays you have swarm robotics in terms of swarm drones, which can travel in a group for search and rescue, okay, and also for surveying purposes, for mapping purposes, and also they use drones for show. Like you can see there, the aeroplane there, you can see it's made of drones. Okay, you fly the drones, swarm drones, and then you make whatever image that you want to make in the sky. You can you can do magics there. No? The next one, which is very important nowadays, is the robot that we used in medical aspect. No? So medical robots, very advanced, because medical uses robots to do operation. Okay. Now the operation, because the advantage is that you can have many arms, and you can have tiny incisions. Okay, and the robot can do a very delicate job. Okay, so it can go very deep, better than what the surgeon can do. And another aspect is that the robot actually can have the surface mapped, and then you can have soft limits. Like sometimes you have nerves somewhere, and if you want to do an operation, you might accidentally cut the nerves. And if you have robots, you can tell, okay, these are the nerves, and a robot will not cut the nerves. It will stop. Even though the doctor moves it, the robot will stop. It will have a stop limit. And also you have you have telepresence. You can see there on the right hand side is a telepresence robot. Now that means that you can have specialists from anywhere in the world, especially working and treating patients in interior part where you don't have specialists. So he can be present there, and he can guide the doctors or the junior doctors or the nurses to do some form of treatment, some procedures, some advice, and he can also communicate with the patients. And we also have robots which can take vital signs and immediately feed to the doctor there in the other side, where the doctor can have live feed of medical data from the patient, and the doctor, based on that, he can decide what to do. Okay, because it's very important. It is as though the doctor is physically present there. The only thing is that He cannot use his hands to do the work, but he needs another person to assist him. So these are telepresence robot. Okay, it's developing now. And also we also have this disinfection robot, because due to COVID, imagine if a patient is there and then you need to disinfect the whole room. It takes time. It takes few days to disinfect rooms, few hours, you know, depending on how much manpower you have. But with this particular robot, you can use ultraviolet. It can clean up the whole place in a matter of few minutes. So it takes time, but it cleans everything. So you don't have any infection. So the operation theater can be used immediately after operation. The room can be used immediately, and then the things that you bring in, your things that you transfer to the patients, you give medicine, food to the patients, can be disinfected by this particular type of robot. And another aspect that just now I was sharing with you, the tools. You can see the tools actually is very small. It's a 1 cent coin. It's very tiny, but it has camera. It has degree of freedom where you can move into, and then you have something to hold. And then also you have these nano robots. Nano robots. It's the size of a blood cell. It's very small. So they are developing these nano robots for many applications now. They can target cancer cells. They can target diseases. And we also have robotic capsules which goes inside your body. It has camera that can take the picture of the intestine, and also it can open up. The pill can be activated to do other things. It can inject medicines. It can release medicine at the particular time, at the particular place. So, and it can be monitored externally by the patient and also the medical practitioner. So these are the advanced part of the robots that is actually developing. And you can see this nanotechnology is currently picking up pace now. So according to the journals of evolution of medical and dental sciences, they also having these nano robots for dental purposes, for dental treatments. You can have nanorobots for cell repair, cancer treatment, aging, heart disease, implanting devices. Virtual reality, that means that the robot goes into your body and the doctor can see it as a virtual reality. He can move things and see what is actually happening in your body. You can do therapies, gene therapy, drug delivery, stem cells, where you're going to put the stem cells, bone repair, bone repair, imaging, diabetic treatment, surgeries, and they also use nanorobots for actually seizures, and all these things, many applications. So a human being who has a lot of problems on the left hand side, you can use nanorobots to treat them on the right hand side. So these are the applications that currently they are working on, and some of it are very successful. So what are the things we need to prepare? How we can embrace robots in the 21st century? What are the things that we as a normal users of robot, or we have some skills? Because in the near future, many things will use robots. Maybe not directly, but indirectly you will use robots. So you need some skills to prepare yourself for the future. Okay, so these are the things that we need to do now. Actually, we encourage even from children from younger age to have basic understandings of robots. Okay, we have started even in Malaysia itself. We have started education, robot education, even in primary school, preschool also. We want to educate them to have a very basic understanding of what is robots, because they are growing up with smartphone technology now, but in the future they will grow up with robotic technology. Imagine in the future your kids will be picked up by cars, automatic cars. The kids will be sitting in the cars and they just need to think where they want to go, and this vehicle will take them there because the sensors are on the seat. It's not hooked up to your brain. You know how we have these prosthetics, artificial prosthetics, where we have robotic limbs, where the signal is taken from the part of the body. So when you sit on the car, all the sensors on the seat takes the image, takes the information. So you have a lot of big data there, and you process. and then it can decide where you want to go, how you want to go, which route you want to take. You can think and it knows. So these are the things that's currently being developed, and it will be there in the very near future. So we need to prepare kids nowadays for that they are ready to use them, and also ready to design them, ready to apply them, ready to repair them, ready to maintain them. And also we need to give them some safety standards and also other things. So this exposure is very important for us also, you know. And programming, industrial robots need programming, assembly system needs programming, mobile robots needs programming, unmanned aerial vehicle, unmanned ground vehicle, unmanned underwater vehicle, unmanned marine vehicle, unmanned space vehicle, you need to program. And when you have robots, you have interfacing, you interface with sensors, modules, you interface with automation system, you interface with new technologies, emerging technologies, and also you integrate them. How? You collaborate them with robots. So you have to have AI applied in this area. So these are the things actually we need to be exposed. It's not that I am in this field and I don't want to know anything about robots. No, sorry to say, many fields in this world nowadays, it uses robots as its application. That means imagine if I want to be a soldier, I need to have some robot basics. Imagine that. Because I'll be wearing robotics exoskeleton to go for war. I will wear robotic tools to go for war. If I'm an engineer, I'm a computer science, I need to know how a robot works so that I can program it. So I need to know. If I'm working in a mining field, I need to know robots. I mean, doctors need to know robots. Everybody needs to know robots. Your car will be robots. Your washing machine, your fridge, your kitchen will be fully robotic. So how? If I shy myself now from knowing about robots, then I am actually making myself handicapped. No. So, so that's all for my presentation. If you have any question and answer, then if I can answer those, I will share my thoughts with you all. So if you don't have any questions to ask, I would like to thank everyone for spending your time listening to this webinar, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and learn a little bit about robots. So it will be very useful for you in the near future. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Murali, Associate Prof. Dr. I.R. Murali from the University of Toronto. Thank you so much for joining us in this live webinar talking about the 21st century robotic and its application. So let us ask one more time from all those people who attended this webinar, if there is any um, question, you can just type on the comment box. If you are watching us through the Facebook or through the YouTube, you can just easily write the your question on the comment box, and Associate Prof. IR Dr. Murali is here to answer your question. And there is a survey link that we already shared on the comment box. One more time, I'm sharing for all of you. We would be really appreciated if you hear from you guys to improve in our live uh, webinars that we have from the Master Facebook and Master YouTube. Okay, it seems that there is no question, Dr. Murali, so I will be really thankful. I really appreciate it for this webinar. It was very useful. It was very fascinating. I hope that we can have you in the next series of our webinar with some new topics. We know that there are so many people that likes to hear about the robotics in this new century, especially after this pandemic happened everywhere in the world. All in all, we hope to see you soon in our following webinar. If there is no any notes, so we need to say goodbye and thank you so much. Okay,
Okay,
take care.
thank you, everybody. See you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Singh.